Eyewitness News is your local election headquarters. We're tracking the results from the Massachusetts primary. No major upsets in those statewide races, and you can see the winners running across the bottom of your screen.
We now know who will be facing off in the race for governor in November. Jay Gonzales is the winner of the Democratic primary. He'll take on Republican Governor Charlie Baker. Eyewitness News reporter Alexander Leslie joining us live in studio with reaction from both candidates.
Good morning. Well, in case you were sleeping when the results came in, you may not be too surprised this morning. Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker one step closer to maintaining the state's top job. The Republican fended off his challenger, Scott Lively. Now, Lively ran on the far right as a pro-Trump alternative to Baker, but Republicans still went for Baker, who's been critical of the president. Baker convincing more than half of Republican voters yesterday he should be the Republican nominee, taking 64% of the vote. With just weeks before the general, Baker took the time in his victory speech to focus on how Massachusetts is tackling tough issues.
Whatever the issue, opioids, schools, jobs, transportation, or housing, we need to keep putting progress before politics. At a time when our country is having trouble finding common ground on so many issues, we in Massachusetts are the exception.
As for his Democratic challengers, another landslide win, this time for Jay Gonzales, who took 65% of the vote. Gonzales is a former budget chief for Governor Diehl. The Democrat has been critical of Baker, saying he's failed to fix the MBTA and cutting services. But Gonzales has a lot to prove. Baker has been named one of the most popular governors in America, proven by the fact that the Republican has been holding office in a largely Democratic state. Last night, Gonzales took the time to thank his Democratic challenger, Bob Massey,
for his spirited campaign and his deep commitment to our democratic values. He's a good person and a great candidate. He forced us to raise our game, and we're going to be stronger in the general election because of him.
Of course, those are just some of the primary day highlights. We'll have more results you might have missed coming up at 5:30, and you can also find full results on WPRI.com. Reporting live in the studio, I'm Alexander Leslie, Eyewitness News.